RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning. RBB, a live morning talk show that gives you the ability to get the coach you need, strategist you wish you could afford, social media manager and strategist, marketing strategist, project manager, certified OBM, VA, business startup strategist, profit strategist, web strategist, email funnel strategist, sales page strategist, PR strategist, time management, mindset, and overall business development strategist. We answer it all. With over 25 years of business experience, both in corporate and small business worlds, we really can answer it all. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy July 12th. I'm very happy to be with you today. Today, we're still talking about business and how to actually start a business and the mindset of starting a business and all of those things that go together. So we're talking about the mindset of having a hobby business versus having a real business. And yes, there is a different mindset. And so many people that start their own business have a hobby mindset when it comes to their business. Mm-hmm. A hobby business, you don't invest in your business. You don't make sure that you're set up for success. You just use whatever new software you see. You just do everything for free. And, a client sent me a contract. I'll just copy that and use that. I'm not going to pay somebody to help me. I'm not going to pay somebody to do my website. That's a hobby business mindset.
Yes, I say this all the time. You cannot free your way to the top.
No.
You cannot, I'm going to repeat that again, and I'm going to say it differently. You cannot free your way to $1 million. You cannot free your way to $100,000. You cannot free your way.
Absolutely cannot. And you cannot, so my house could be chaotic. I'm going to warn you, there are 4 dogs here today.
Yeah, like you saw Silas peeping in, you guys. Like that could have been a warning. We don't know.
Yes. So, knowing what you are and where you're going to go is the first step in having a real business. Now, many people start their business out of desperation, or they start out as an MLM, direct salesperson, and then kind of evolve into something else. They just, they want to do so much, but they don't have the proper mindset behind your business. You can, as Gina said, you cannot DIY your way to the top. You have to invest. And to grow a business and to have a business, you don't necessarily need to hire people to have a real business. So let's get that out of the way first. You don't necessarily have to have a staff to have a real business, but you have to invest in your business. If you want a good business model that is sustainable, if you can't sustain your business at your current pace for 10 plus years, you are not a real business. Did you just hear me? 10 plus years. Most businesses fail in the first year. 60% of businesses that make it through their first year fail in the first 3 years. Another 75% of those businesses fail in the first 5 years. And then an additional 40% fail in the first 10 years. There ain't that many left, y'all. Now, there are 75 million businesses being started every year right now. That's the average for, I think, 2017, 2018. 75 million businesses. So I had my husband do the math out because I wasn't.
I was wondering where you got that number. Okay, Art did it. That makes sense.
Well, no. So I found the number online, Forbes or something like that. And then out of those 75 million businesses in 10 years, less than 1,000 of them still exist.
Wow. That is a heavy stat right there, you guys.
1,000. So 75 million businesses are started every year. And this is just in the US. This has nothing to do, I didn't look
with the rest of the world. So this is just the United States.
In the US alone, 75 million businesses, and they can't last 10 years. So I don't care about the coach that makes $10,000 a week or whatever.
Yeah, I don't either.
K months, whatever. They are not going to be able to sustain that business model for 10 years. Heck, most of them aren't going to be able to sustain that business model at 5 years. That means that you are not setting your business up for success, which means you are running yourself more like a hobby and less like a business. That does not mean that you have to become an S Corp and have a whole huge board and all of those things. You do need to invest in your business and protect it. An LLC is perfectly fine for 99.9% of everybody. Even a DBA, a properly set up DBA, is absolutely fine for a lot of people. I know there's a guy here that didn't even have his DBA until like 3 years ago, and I helped him do it. An old guy. He has been running a remodeling, plumbing, electrical business since he was 20. He is now like 74 or something like that. He just got his DBA, but his sons have now taken over. And his grandson is now involved, which is the grandson was like, no, we have to do this the right way.
Yes. So now let's touch on like what your first hire should be. And we're going to shock you guys because it's not a VA and it's not a coach.
Let's back up slight bit. So you know you want to grow your business. You know you need to hire somebody. You feel overwhelmed. You know you want to do something.
Yes.
So you have to do something. Don't hire a coach first. You need to. The number one thing you have to focus on is what's going to make you money now. Who can you put in your business that is going to be profitable for you? There are only 2, maybe 3 areas that will help you with that. The first thing I would do, and I'm not saying this because I'm a business strategist, I did this myself way back when. Hire a business strategist for 1 or 2 sessions, not a business coach. Do not hire a business coach. A business coach, when you are starting out, is a waste of freaking money.
There are so many people that argue that to the contrary, and sometimes some people actually get lucky and stumble upon a strategist that is calling themselves a coach because that's all people understood. So I really want to clarify that really quick before somebody jumps in the comments and starts arguing with us about this. Like, coach is a buzzword right now, and everybody thinks that they're the most great, wonderful thing that poops gold. So everybody's looking for a coach. So sometimes if you can't beat them, you join them. So I just want to make that point. Carry on.
So you want to hire a business strategist that not only has started businesses, but has run other people's businesses. You don't want a business coach who has only had her own business or his own business. Period. That's not enough.
No, it isn't, because you run into, here's why. There's that little experience thing that we talk about often, that managing other people's businesses when it's not your own and still being able to grow it because you're removed from it almost is better experience than growing your own, because you don't have that.
It's part of growing your own business, and somebody that has, and even if they've grown a successful business, are they 10 plus years old?
Yeah.
Because how do you know that they're growing a sustainable business?
Yeah.
They don't.
Startups are not startup. Getting a startup going does not equal sustainable. Startups are volatile, man, for the first 5 years.
Yeah, just don't. You want to hire somebody, but you don't need a long-term business strategist. A good business strategist will audit your business, take a look at everything you need to do, and give you a roadmap. That's their job, and walk away. It's not their job to handhold and tell you, oh, you're doing it right, or maybe you should try this. Well, if their strategy was any good, there wouldn't be the maybe you should try this. Nobody is perfect. So let me say that.
Every strategy needs to tweak because it's a theory.
But only you as the business owner can make those tweaks. That strategist is not in your business day to day. There's no reason to hire a strategist long term. And people are very shocked when they're like, well, how much are your packages? I have a 4-session package. That is my biggest package. That's it. Okay, next thing you should hire. Somebody to write your freaking content for you. I didn't tell you you had to hire a social media manager. I said to write your content for you, your Facebook profile content, your LinkedIn profile content, your Instagram content, your website content. What is your first impression to every client? Those things. You need to look like you know what you're doing. If you DIY'd any of those things, chances are you're using language, visual something
that's not appealing.
That's not appealing if you're not getting clients. So if you're getting clients on your own, then you've done a good job. Good job. But if you're struggling to get people in through your social media, yesterday we got 14 leads from one Instagram post.
Because I know somebody whose content she would do fairly well. And if she got a good reaction to it, she'd keep basically rewriting the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And then her engagement would go down because she was like, well, I thought that's what my audience wanted. They responded to it. Well, okay, but you need to have more to say than just that. So don't do that either.
Yes, don't.
That's not a good strategy. Don't do that either, because then you're effing up your engagement, which is more important than your follower count.
And again, this is not a big investment. Hiring somebody to do your website, you could have somebody write, if you had a large website, you could hire somebody to write all of your sales content, all of your call to actions, all of the very important stuff to get people to engage with you and have that sales flow in your website for less than $500. One-time cost.
Yeah, a one-time cost. And then you can have your content written for you. For like, I know from us, like $250.
Well, and even
monthly.
I have a client, and I've told you guys this before. I have a client that pays me once a year to write her 120 posts. Those are her pillar posts. We write her pillar posts every year. And those are the things that she has that are well written. The rest of them are very personal stuff. And you want that in your business too. You shouldn't hire a social media manager to write all of your content for you. We don't write all of the content. We give you a strategy for the things that we don't write. But we do not write everybody's content because it is your business. It's not my business. People want to know you. And again, nobody freaking cares what you sell. And a social media manager is going to talk about what you sell. You are going to talk about you.
Yeah, people want to hear about your dog. Like my Frenchie Chronicles, if I started writing about that, like you people would die. Like with me and this dog over here. Like the other one wants nothing to do with me during the workday. This one, rudest coworker ever.
And the next thing you should hire is an OBM.
Yes. And I am an OBM. So just so you guys know, I am one. I am certified. And you know what that means? This is why okay, so this is my turn now. So this is why we I want to tell you the reason why we tell you to get a certified OBM. I had to go through an actual training, and this training was created from people that were the original OBMs, that had been OBMs since the start of digital business, since the start of the digital coaching industry. Like they created a course, like a training program that I had to go through. And it was a very in-depth training course, like technical training showing you how to run a virtual team, how to audit a business, how to properly write like standard operating procedures. Like there was all kinds of stuff that I had to go through. Then I had to go through certification week, which meant they gave me actual scenarios that I had to go through. And they were various scenarios, including like having hard conversations with clients, having hard conversations with team members, coming up with marketing plans, putting something together. I had to go through a whole week. And then it had to be sent to a committee of people for them to approve. And it was pass or fail. So there you go. So it's rigorous. So it's
rigorous, and they also have a code of conduct.
I had to sign a code of ethics.
That is a big deal when we are living a world of, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. And you don't. And
nope. I had to
yesterday. Hire the person that actually knows how to do it.
Which means that if and this is the part that sucks because people suck, you could report me to the IAOBM and I could lose my certification. So because I'm a part of the International Association of Online Business Managers, and there are not that many of us. Out of the entire world, I think there are less than 500 certified OBMs. So let that sink in for a minute. Now it's growing and there are more and more people that are coming through, and I think that that's great, but it is really important to make sure that the OBM is certified because the OBM is trained, a certified OBM is trained to basically be the COO of your business. They are trained to run it for you. They are trained to run your team. They are trained to integrate people. They know certain techniques and certain tasks to make a virtual team come together and work like everybody is sitting in the office. Mm-hmm. Like that's what they're there for. They are there to plug holes in your business. They are there to be you, so you don't have to be.
So they're not going to be your VA, or they shouldn't be your VA. I will say a lot of OBMs and even certified OBMs are doing that position. So that could be very beneficial, especially when you're starting out and need somebody in that type of position and also need a VA.
Well, they need to be for a little bit sometimes to be able to, especially if your business is new and you don't have any team members, they have to because there's no other way to see what's wrong with the process. So unless you do it.
So some OBMs will actually do that VA piece, and that's awesome, especially when you're first starting out. That may be the type of OBM that you're looking for. You might want to look for somebody who's willing to do all of those VA pieces and your tech pieces for you. Not every OBM will.
They won't. Most OBMs, I'm going to tell you, most OBMs will not. They are trying to get away from that because it is very hard to be the doer and the manager at the same time. So I want to go ahead and point that out. I tell OBMs that are still doing VA work to cut it out. They need to pick. You're either a VA or an OBM. So just keep that in mind. They will do it for you for a tiny bit to figure out the process, but it is not a long-term fix. And you need to be prepared to hire somebody to plug that hole once the OBM has gotten it ironed out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The next thing, and this to me is like a 50-50 split of which direction you should go between the OBM and hire somebody to write your sales funnel for you.
Yes.
To build your sales funnel for you. The things you want to do for your business, you want them to make you money so that you can hire the best of the best that you can hire. And in order to do that, I am a business strategist and salesperson. I have written sales courses for corporate multi-billion-dollar teams. We hired somebody to write our sales funnels for us. Because writing your own sales funnel, it's hard to take a step back and be able to really make that decision and separate out is this too wordy? Am I saying 10,000 words when I could only say 5? All of those things. It's really hard to do on your own stuff. We're very upfront that we hire when we're having trouble. We hired somebody to build our sales funnel, like physically build it, the tech piece. We hired somebody to do all of the design for it, and we got all of our design stuff in yesterday. I'm so excited. We hired somebody to write all of the copy for it because that is going to make us money.
And lots of it, because now Danielle can take it and put it on autopilot in a lot of different places.
So hiring somebody
to work for us
to do that for you, you're basically building, I don't want to call it passive income because whatever you're selling may not be passive income. But what you're building with that will become a very passive sales process.
So I want to touch on funnels just slightly. So a sales funnel is not a set it and forget it thing. You do have to continuously watch it. But basically what a sales funnel is like if you're taking your very best salesperson, like if somebody were to come into your store and you're taking your very best sales representative and they are taking the potential client or the potential customer by the hand and walking them through a process. That's what it is. That's what it's meant for.
Amazing customer journey process. And no, you do not have to use ClickFunnels. You do not have to use lead pages. You can use your website.
Yes, you can.
Wix, give it up.
Give it up. Let go of us. I prefer ClickFunnels just because it's easy. All the reporting, everything is there. It's just easy. It's an all-in-one platform, but it is expensive. So it's not cheap.
We use a combination. On the DJ marketing side, we do everything on WordPress.
Yep.
And on the Be Boss Girl side, we're a mix of WordPress, membership site, and ClickFunnels.
Yep.
So there is no right or wrong answer to the software on that, just because I know somebody's going to ask.
Yeah, it's just whatever works best for you. Sometimes it's a combo, sometimes it's one or the other, but you can build a sales funnel all on your website. Like that's absolutely not a problem. Like that's not out of the question. And quite honestly, when you're first starting out, that is your best option because funds are tight. You're already paying to have the website hosted. Just go ahead and use that.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go back and visit something, and this is going to make some of my VA friends upset. Don't hire a VA to be your unicorn.
Yeah, don't do that. It's not fair to them.
One, it's more expensive to do that. So I love my VA team people, and there are VAs out there that are calling themselves the wrong thing. So let me say that right now. But when you are just starting out and have limited funds, hire an expert for one thing. That will save you money in the end than hiring a cheaper VA to do 20 things. So I'm going to say that again. An expert. You want me to come in and build your social media strategy for you. I give you a hint. Right now, it's only going to cost you $35 a month to get a new strategy every month. Yep. Before we released the Pixie Kit, it would cost you $250 to have me sit down, audit your social media, and tell you exactly what to do. Or you can hire a VA to do your social media for you for that price a month and have a poke and hope that you're doing with them. Because a VA, and unless this person is dumb enough to call themselves a VA and undervalue themselves and are actually a social media strategist, that does happen. There's actually a lot of that out there because they think they'll get more customers by calling themselves a VA. They don't know what they're doing with social media. They have a good idea. They know how to use it. They might be okay at it, but they're not going to give you the fast, good way to go about doing something. Brittany Moffitt. You hire Brittany Moffitt or I to do your social media strategy, and Brittany and I have worked together. We bounce ideas off together all the time because we're one of the few strategists that are also marketing strategists that we both know. And we will bounce ideas off it. And every time a client will see a turnaround in less than 30 days in their social media. Every time. If they follow the strategy. So I got to say that because not everybody will. They think they know better. And if you're going to hire an expert, listen to them and use them.
Yes. Don't argue with the expert. If you knew, okay, so don't argue with the expert because if you knew everything and then why are you, then you would have had to hire them
in the first place and had to hire somebody.
Yep. So drop that. That's a mindset problem. Like it's an ego thing and whatever. I won't go there. I'll be good.
So hire the expert, hire the social media strategist to write some of your content, hire the OBM to audit. You can hire an OBM to just come in and audit your business. And that's all you need to hire them for. Hire a business strategist, hire a sales copywriter for the one thing. And if you can't afford a sales copywriter to write all of your stuff, hire them to do your homepage. Hire a social media strategist to come in and set up all your social media profiles for you the correct way and write 5 posts. I mean, hire an expert for something, even if it's only a little bit, and that's all you can afford. You are now 500 steps ahead of anybody DIYing and having a hobby business mindset. Hobby business mindset, I can figure it out on my own. I could spend 20,000 hours researching this to maybe get one client. Real business mindset, I'm going to hire somebody that knows how to do this right now so I can make money off of this 5 days from now. And I didn't mention you need a contract and you should have your LLC and you should have a lawyer and you should have a CFO. And I didn't mention any of that in any of this conversation today. Proper business setup could just be a DBA, does not have to be an LLC or a C Corp or an S Corp or all of that stuff. You don't need to go that far at first. Get started, but get started correctly and be a real business. And if you're having trouble with that mindset, I have a free mindset course, people.
Yeah, a lot of this is mindset.
It's mindset.
It's like it quit. Okay. There is absolutely no guarantee. If you wanted to start a business, you just took one of the biggest gambles and the biggest risks out there. So you might as well roll the dice and give yourself the best possible advantage that you can. If you're going to take the risk, do it. Be all in or get out.
Okay. So I just got a question on my personal page. So, well, I have no money to start. How do I can't afford to do anything. How do I start a business then? So a lot of people start accidentally or whatever. My side hustle, I didn't really do anything with my side hustle because it was my hobby business. It was my hobby business for like 3 years.
I did the same thing.
So my first step when I had to go full time from my hobby business and make it my full-time business, first $100 I made went into, I hired somebody to take a look at my business structure to make sure I knew what I was doing. Second, the next bit of money I made nothing for the first 3 weeks. I made nothing for 3 weeks because I reinvested it back into my business. So it's not that I didn't make anything. It's that every dime went back into my business.
I've been doing the same thing.
At the end of a month, I had a website. I had a landing page on my website for a sales funnel. I had my DBA and I had my accounting software all set up. And I didn't set my accounting software up. I hired somebody to do it.
Yeah, so what I did when I very first started out is I got the very first thing I did is I got clients. Then the next thing that I did, it was like 2 months in. So I spent like a couple of months like signing enough people where I got to, I was a little over $1,000 a month or like $1,500. I was like close to $2,000. I was like right around in there. I hired somebody to write my website copy and my welcome funnel. And then the next thing I did, because I couldn't hire somebody to do it for me, I bought a Pinterest course and I started building my email list. Those are the things I did.
At this point, I hesitate to send people to too many courses.
At the time, it was good, but that's been a little while now. So now I would not, because most people have not updated their Pinterest courses. So I would not recommend doing that now. At the time, you could, but you can't now.
I say that, but we're going to have a membership club soon. But there's so many dated things out there right now. It's really hard to find good courses and stuff right now. So I say that, but we're going to be selling one.
Ours is going to be updated, and then we'll continuously. The difference between us and that is we will be.
We're not evergreening it. It will be updated. Even the courses that will stay in our library will be updated every 6 months or so.
Yeah,
a lot of things in our world have to be updated, and we may need to as things change. Social media stuff is going to change consistently, and we'll be changing those courses like every few months.
Yes. So I would hesitate, but that's what I did because I knew the value of an email list, but then I also knew the value of a really good website. That's where I invested. That's what I did. But
we need to tie up. So invest in the proper path because you need to invest in long-term results, not the quick and dirty.
So if you don't have money, go generate some revenue and get some, and
then invest it in your business.
Invest it in your business. Don't take all of your revenue as your owner's payout. Don't do that. So things may be tough for a little while and you're going to have to be okay with that. I'm sorry. Entrepreneurship is not a steady paycheck. You have to get past that mindset of I had a job and I was getting paid every week or every 2 weeks. That goes away for a little while.
And here is something I'm going to say, and this is really harsh. And this is going to be very, very harsh, people. If you are a single mom, Don't quit a steady job to start a business. I just said, don't quit a steady, good paycheck to start a business, because unless you have already started that business and have been side hustling it and are making at least your income right now at your full-time job, at least you need to make probably almost triple, because you have to pay your own taxes. You are now going to have to get your medical insurance for you and your children. All of that is very, very expensive. And that steady amount coming in for a minimum of 6 months before you quit a job. I don't know how many moms I have talked to, single moms, and this breaks my heart. I have talked to so many single moms who quit a good job because she had a dream of starting her own business and then ended up on food stamps or losing her apartment or whatever, because they didn't have their business set up properly to be generating income first.
Yeah, be smart and do not. And some of us, like, sometimes your situation, is different. My situation in starting my business, it was just the way the dice rolled. I couldn't.
My business went from hobby to real business because I lost my job. And then we were moving states and there was no way I could work it out. I had no choice. Sometimes you have no choice because you're in a weird situation, but more times than not, just go get some sort of steady job. I mean, sometimes, and this is what sucks, is like, I was a corporate project manager and I was willing to go wait tables, go deliver pizza to have money coming in so that while I was working on my business. So sometimes you have to kind of do what you have to do to keep the lights on while you're building this. So please keep that in mind. I know that sounds a little harsh for some people. We're not trying to squash your dreams. Your dreams can happen, but be smart. Be smart. Don't back yourself into a corner. Sometimes your back is against the wall and there's nothing else you can do, but more often than not, there is another way. There's always another way, and you just may have to do something, but at least it's money. Legally. And don't ever think of a job that you have to do like that. I don't care if you're delivering pizzas, driving Uber, or whatever you're doing. It's funding your business.
Yeah.
It's not what's taking you away from your business. It's funding your ability to have your business.
Yeah, your ability to do
it. Huge mindset shift.
Yeah, it's a mindset
shift. It's so important. And being an entrepreneur, as we keep saying, kind of sucks sometimes. It is not always steady, especially when you're first starting out. You're probably not going to see super steady, like mega, I'm always earning the same amount of money for like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, it'll take a while to get yourself on payroll.
So keep that in mind.
And be okay with it.
Yeah, be smart with your steps. Just be smart with your steps. And this is what this week has been all about, is be smart with the steps in starting your business. So you have an amazing week. I know today's show was a little hard to hear for a lot of people.
There's some tough love.
There's definitely some tough love here, but we do love you. We want you to succeed. Everything that we do is about our RBB lifestyle, which is the rise strong, become limitless, and be the boss girl inside of you, because you can do it. You just have to be smart about doing it.
Yep.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, guys.
RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning.